Have you ever been to Cape Cod? Have you ever heard of the Great Marsh? Cape Cod is a huge part of my childhood, and part of my childhood is dying. Why? Well, let me share it with you. My great aunt and uncle have lived up in Cape Cod since my dad was born. As a child, he would spend week upon week visiting his grandparents and aunt and uncle. He loved them dearly. He partially grew up there. He grew, of course, with it having less time to visit. He joined the Air Force where he met my mom. They had my brother, then me. My dad, though, made sure that Cape Cod left its lasting mark on our childhood as well. Since I was a baby, my parents brought me up to the Cape as much as they could to visit my aunt, uncle, and cousins, who are poodles. They live right near the Great Marsh, which stretched at least 25,000 acres. Would often walk my cousins down to the end of the lane. I remember seeing a huge expanse of tall marsh grass. We would sometimes watch as the sun sunk below the horizon. It was beautiful and endless. We could drive from Barnstable to Hyannis, and you could still see it. The marsh was full of life and history. It hid things, such as cow tunnels from the 1920s. Yet this all changed. This summer, on the evening of June 16th, I was walking down the lane with my aunt, uncle, and cousins. The lane was beautiful. It was filled with lush green trees. On the side of the driveway, beach roses bloomed elegantly, contrasting the green of leaves. It was the same, but different than how it was when I was young. Moons have passed, trees have fallen, flowers have grown. No one on the lane tried to disturb it. It was simply nature at its finest. We had walked about half a mile when the road gave way to a dirt path. A short walk under a gateway of trees, we reached the marsh. The trees gave way to the sky, while the grass grew into marsh grass. It was different, though. It was as if the grass was trying to rise, but was getting pushed down at the same time. They didn't stand as tall as before. I walked a little ways in on a path that was long since cut into the grass by past hunters. There isn't anything to hunt anymore, though. It was dead. The birds were silent. You couldn't even hear their wings flapping. As a child, mud would cover my ankles. Yet as I walked through the marsh, I barely sunk a centimeter. It could hardly be classified as mud. It was damp dirt. It was as if nutrients were sucked out. My childhood was dying before my eyes. Cape Cod isn't the only place this is happening. It is happening everywhere, even places you wouldn't think of. Usually, when you think of Earth dying, you would think of rainforest, reefs, and sea turtles. You would think of wildfires, overhunting, gases, etc. It is more than that, though. While that is the bigger picture, every picture has smaller ones. You need all these small pictures to make the bigger one complete. Go into your backyard tonight. Look at the life in it. Is it living or just hanging on? Ecosystems are fragile. They can only take so much before they collapse. We tend to not be very delicate with everything around us. Every ecosystem relies on another, which relies on another, and so on. By damaging one, you're damaging others. We humans are destroying Earth, yet it is we humans who can save it. Cape Cod has inspired my dream to volunteer in Australia in the future. The Cape was an eye-opener for me. It was a place that showed me that things such as pollution was not just a marketing ad on TV. I plan to help penguins, more specifically little blues, on the coast of Australia and New Zealand. Hundreds of little blues suffer from oil spills and other man-made disasters every year. There are always places that need people to help out and volunteer, and more people need to. We are losing so much every year. Personally, I feel like that is part of what FFI is doing. They are sparking a light in the younger generation and older and inspiring more people to help out in whatever way they can. I know that I have found more ways to help my community during my week at FFI. So, now I ask you, what will you be doing to help out?